Hey, I'm glad you found me today. One of my biggest struggles as an entrepreneur has been being able to feel seen and found by potential customers and an audience who is ready to hear the things that I have to share. This struggle with feeling seen led me to pursue a path of branding and marketing and researching everything that I possibly could to try to figure out strategic ways to make an impact and be a successful entrepreneur. And one of the biggest lessons that I have learned around being seen as an entrepreneur is the importance of making our audience feel seen, heard, and understood by us. I think a lot of the times we show up online as brands and businesses just sharing everything that we have to offer and what we've got going on in our lives, and we're neglecting to form that connection with our audience, which makes them not really feel interested in everything that we have to share. I've realized that we are going through a collective awakening as humanity right now to all of the ways that we have been lied to and gaslit by major corporations through their marketing messaging. There's just been so many years of messages being bombarded at us of us not being enough, especially as women. We're not pretty enough. We're not smart enough. We're not dressed well enough. All of these things that make us feel like we are just not enough were messages that were being forced upon us for us to buy things. And they were done in a very smart and strategic way. The problem is it just hasn't always been an ethical way of doing things. So as a result, people just don't want to be sold things anymore. We now are longing to be part of a conversation, and brands who do this with us really pull us in and make a stronger impact. So today, I want to share 5 ways that you can form a deeper connection with your audience in order to remain top of mind with them. There's a quote by Maya Angelou that says, "People will never remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel." We're going to tap into that today and figure out strategies that can help you make your audience feel something. The first strategy to form that deep connection is share stories as a brand. When you share your story, you become a human. And now all of a sudden, you start to build a connection with your audience. When you share a story that's emotionally charged, that's when you become memorable and stay top of mind with them. I remember meeting a woman who was selling beauty products in a crowded market that I attended. And as I was ready to just keep walking, she started a conversation with me. As we were chatting, she shared a story about how she was really struggling with her own skincare, how her body was going into toxic shock syndrome from the products that she was using by these expensive beauty brands. And she told me how that motivated her to go out, do her research, and start her own beauty brand of natural products for women. As I was standing and talking to her, I could really feel what she had been through. I was moved by her passion and the way that she shared her story with me. And as she shared her story, she was able to establish credibility with me, build her authority as to why she was somebody that I should be buying products from. And I learned that she was an expert on the harmful ways that we were putting products on our skin. So in that moment, I bought a product from her. I trusted her and I liked her and I remembered her when I left. She made an impact on me by sharing her story. As brands, we are just sitting with all of these different stories laying dormant within us, just waiting to come out so that they can connect with potential customers and help us be seen. Here's how powerful storytelling is. You could be standing directly beside a competitor in a crowded market. You can both be selling the exact same products, but if you have a story that connects with your potential customer and makes them feel seen, heard, and understood by you, then they're automatically going to choose you. And if they don't buy from you right then and there in that moment, you're going to be the one that they are going to remember because you're the one who made them feel something. There's so many aspiring entrepreneurs who just don't go after their calling because they feel like it's an oversaturated thing. But what they neglect to realize is that no one is ever going to deliver it and share it and be inspired by it the way that they are. And if that aspiring entrepreneur gives up and walks away in that moment, then now the whole world has missed out on what they have to share and their unique expression of it. So, of course, the second tip is to use emotion anytime you're talking about your offers. The 5 motivators for human behavior are fear, love, greed, guilt, and pride. If you can tap into those emotions in an ethical way where you're not inducing fear and throwing fear at your audience, then you can make them feel something from you and remember you. The third tip is to be real. Talk to your audience like you would talk to a real person. Let your personality come through. And please don't use words that you wouldn't use in a conversation. That is when you lose them. People are craving personality, authenticity, and connection. So the more real you keep things, the more relatable you're going to be with your audience. Share your vulnerabilities in a way where it's not going to harm your brand and your customers can relate. The next tip is enter the conversation going on in your customer's mind. When you are clear on who you speak to, it's easy for you to know what they're thinking about. So address that. Say what they're thinking, identify the elephants in the room, and continue the conversation that they're already having with themselves. A great way to do that is to ask them a question based around their beliefs, their values, or their goals. Remember, we all want to feel seen, heard, and understood. So if your brand is able to make someone feel that way, you're in. So the final tip is, anytime you're trying to sell something, paint a picture of what success is going to feel like for your potential client or customer. Show them the after effect of what working with you can be like for them. Remind them of what life can be like when they're free from their pain points. As I arm you with these tips that can convert your audience into customers, I want to also remind you of the importance of being ethical about the ways that you sell your products. Remember, we don't want to be sold things anymore, and we don't want to be lied to and gaslit by major corporations anymore. So if you are speaking to your audience and touching on their pains and their struggles and trying to get them to feel something from you, do it in a way where you are not invoking fear in them or lowering the vibration of the collective consciousness. Do it in a way where you are empowering them and you are genuinely helping them and making a difference in this world. Because when you ride that wavelength and get on that frequency, you are now part of a greater mission and you're going to attract more people because of that. I have created 25 social media post ideas that get you seen. I've done this just for you, and it's all post ideas that are based around building that connection with somebody and making your audience feel seen, heard, and understood by you. You can download that at the link below, or you can head to theempoweredpreneur.com/25 social media posts. I'll see you there.